Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? This to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and where with the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me. But I have to put her on the side and where with the boys. But I have to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her. But I have to put her on the side and where about the boys.
Welcome, everybody, to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. It is August 18th, 7:05 here on the West Coast, 2022. Thank you for making the lab a part of your day. And if you have not, and if you are so inclined, and I understand it, not everybody enjoys podcasts about nothing, which makes sense. And that is why it's called the No Big Deal Podcast. If you just so happen to enjoy laughing, listening to dumb stories, it might be for you. And if you don't, it probably is not for you. But thank you to everybody who watches and listens. We have a good time doing it, and we're going to keep doing those. It is a nice stress release, and I enjoy it a lot. I don't know what that was. I felt like there's like a spider on me or something. That kind of scared me. Josh, I laugh when I hear Peyton's giggle. It's funny that you say that because he giggled almost the entire show last time, and he doesn't. I mean, he giggles. He likes to laugh. But he was particularly fascinated by the exchanges going on that show, and he really did enjoy himself. But yeah, he is hilarious and has such a great heart. He's just such a good boy. And I did not find the fly in my drink, but yeah. But thank you guys. Thank you everybody for being here. And tomorrow at 6 my time, which is Pacific time, the Sauter family documentary that I did premieres tomorrow right here on this channel. And so I hope to see you guys here for that as well. It is always a good time, in my opinion. Does your son love himself corn dogs? Yeah, I mean, no, not like I do. You know, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who, and that was the thing about the corn dog. It was secret. My love for corn dogs was secret. My love for food, you obviously can't deny because I have a chubby face and you can see that. And but my love for corn dogs was always hidden. until Mr. Detective McDonough watched me wolf down 2 corn dogs like it was nothing, like it was a Saturday stroll. Didn't know he was in the room. It didn't know that he was fascinated by my animal instincts to mow down corn dogs at the speed of light. Jessica, a member for 4 months. Thank you so much. And I absolutely, it was like, and I remember it because I had to rush. And I remember I felt like I was a tiger attacking a wounded gazelle. And I was after it. There was no hesitation. There was no waiting. There was no nothing. I needed my corn dogs, and I'm telling you, I woofed them down, man. Bah! Like it was nothing. And then I just hear this voice. How's your corn dogs? And he goes, I've never seen somebody eat corn dogs that fast. I said, oh, God. Oh, God. And then falling asleep. But, it's just whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. I like corn dogs. So anyway, that's how that happens. And I mean, I get it. Hey, buddy, you eating corn dogs there? Sure. Just a good corn dog, huh? Yeah, man, it was a good corn dog. It's a great corn dog. But you had 2 of them, one in each hand. Yes, I did. You was playing the drums with them. You was like Phil Collins and you just do. Bah. And you was like, I never seen hands move so fast. I said, dude, come on. Now you're giving me a complex. You're giving me a complex. My husband is a corn dog lover too. Well, that's just great. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. I could feel it coming in the air tonight. The air fryer. And I'm about to kill these corn dogs. Bam! And that's what I did. I absolutely did. Love the complex. Yeah, it's a great complex. If there's ever a complex to have, that's the one to have. And Lisa, thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. Hi, Josh and Mods. Haven't been able to catch a live lately. Josh, I sent you an email. Your words have been inspirational to me these past weeks. Thank you so much, Lisa. And I will be sure to read that. Let's see here. Man, you guys are funny. It's Friday night. Everybody's feeling a little loose. Everybody's feeling like, it's the summer of 69 and the smell of corn dogs are in the air. Yeah. And hi, Mary. Thank you for being a member. And Jessica, thank you so much for that super sticker. It's very much appreciated. Yeah. Oh, it's actually Thursday. Oh, come on. I'll start my weekend soon. Josh is not there. You guys should have just went with it. You should have just let me have. I thought it was Friday. Now I got to kick it back down. My energy was up here. It was Friday energy, and now it's Thursday energy. It's Thursday energy. It was Friday energy, so I got a downshift. I was in sport mode, and I got a downshift now. Unbelievable. It's Friday. Yes. J-Lo too. It's Friday Eve. Don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe. I killed my own vibe. Anyway, welcome to the show. And I want to once again thank everybody for being here. And I have some more audio that I would like to play and discuss with you. The people keep asking me about the Kiley Rodni situation. I'm scared to address it. What happens in these cases, it's turning into Gabby Petito's case. And I'm just, it's like the 11th or 12th day. And I watch the press conference and I read the press releases. And the fact of the matter is all these hunches, all these gut feelings, all these whatevers don't mean anything. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing until law enforcement. We've already had our big explosion of misinformation with this, and here we go again and again and again and again. And it's bothersome. It's really bothersome. And when I cover those cases that way, as I've learned that it sometimes, most of the time, I do want to address this here. Live, laugh, cast spells. It means nothing, just like thoughts and prayers. Well, let me ask you this. What would you rather do? Have positive energy or negative energy? What harm does that do? I'll tell you what harms: speculation and major speculation against people. Look, what I believe, and this is my speculation, that she was abducted and that they have her car. That's about as much speculation as I can give you. I don't know who did it. I don't know when they did it. I don't know how they did it. I don't know where they are. I don't know this. I don't know that. I've seen the interviews with the friends, and you can call them quirky. You can call them weird. You can read their body language. You can do this. You can do that. But I don't know. That is what I mean by speculation. I don't know. But what is harmful is pointing the finger at people that may have nothing to do with it, or just off of a hunch. A hunch is not always, a hunch is a hunch, and I get it, and people feel very strongly about them. But a hunch is a hunch is a hunch. There's nothing wrong with having a gut feeling. But, like I said, I'm not a detective. I've never been a detective. I don't want to be a detective. I don't want to break news. Dun, da, da, da. I don't want to do that. That's not what I do. It's not what I do. You're not going to find breaking news. I might confirm something. I might talk about it, but everybody wants to be first instead of being right. Everybody wants that one, that I'm the one that broke this case. I'm the one that broke that case. I'm the one that broke this and that and the other. And, I'd rather have some thoughts and prayers than a spell. Yeah, I guess too. A man in Notre Dame had a hunch. Yes, he did. Quasi something. He seemed like a good guy. I agree. They need to find her car. Yeah. So that's the thing. There is nothing. There is nothing at all. Okay. Well, let's just be flat out honest. I go and I see some of these comments on other channels, and even on articles, when you go to the comment section and you go, oh my God, what is wrong with these people? And they've got it all mapped out. this kid did this kid did that, while this other kid distracted this kid. And then they filed off the this or that, and they took this back road that nobody else knows about, but I know about it. And they need to check the ramps. They need to check the docks. They need to. What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing? Just like let police work. If they can solve this case, they will. It sucks. And you know, I keep saying seeing people say AWP is going there. God bless them. I respect that. If they want to go help, look, there is nothing wrong with that. They're not speculating though on a children's party. You know what I mean? It's good to talk about these cases. It's good to be aware in these cases. Yeah, if they were asked to go, that's fantastic. It's good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like people that want to help with, you know, searching. Somebody said, you know, I you know, it's not that it's a few hours. I say like 4 hours from where I live. Somebody goes, well, you need to be boots on the ground. So what? You need to be boots on the ground. I said, why? So I could get in the way? I'm not a rescue recovery person. I'm not an investigator. What am I going to go do? Podcasts from a park bench? I'm not going to do that. This is not what I do. It's just not what I do. I'm not a search and rescue guy. I would love to help in any way that I could. They need some water. I'll send them some waters. That's for the searchers. You know, but you know, I just get in the way. I don't know what they want me to do. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I'd end up, here's the thing. I'd get out there, go looking, I'd get lost myself. And then, you know, nobody would cover me when I went missing. So, that's pretty much what happened. I'd probably break my leg the first day. And then the second day I'd probably get attacked by a bear. And, you know, I'm just, you know, Josh having a podcast from top of a tree. This is Joshua Diaz from the lab up in a pine tree. I have no idea how I'm going to get down. Thank you for listening. You know, it's just not, it's like, I could just see it, man. I'd roll my ankle. I just know it. I got weak ankles. I don't know why. I wasn't born that way. It's just how it is now. I got a weak ankle. It doesn't hurt, but I'd roll it. I know I would. Yeah, Karen, I'd be looking for corn dogs. And the third day, eaten by said bear. Yeah, I mean, probably. I would not do well out there. I've went camping and backpacking and hiking, and it like, I'm not a fan. I do not like camping at all. I used to camp all the time when I was a kid. And I'd always go, we're paying for this. Like, we're really paying for this to sit out here while squirrels and bears we have to lock this wooden piece of crap that it's not a refrigerator, but we're paying for this. We got to sleep out here. Like, yeah. I'm like, I don't like it. Oh, but it's one with nature. Well, whatever. Camping is so much work. You have the day that you leave is so much work. The day that you get there is so much work. It's even worse the day you leave, but the day you get there, you got to set up the freaking tent and you're trying to like run the poles through those holes, and your dumb cousin who's sitting over there, I don't know what he's doing, but he's not paying attention. They collapse in the middle. You fall into the middle of the tent. I say you, that happened to me. And then for no reason whatsoever, unprovoked, without provocation, comes over and he whacks you on the calf with one of those the tent poles. Okay, sorry. I had a flashback. That happened to me. And it hurt. And I didn't like it. And camping forever sucks now for me. Camping. Oh, we got to walk a mile to the bathrooms that you can shower in, the public showers, because public showers are just fantastic. People love. I mean, it's just the whole thing's depressing. The whole thing's depressing. I like discussing the cases, but I agree, Josh. Let the law enforcement and officials do their job. They have training. We can talk about what we learned from the police and share thoughts. Absolutely. No, you have had campers. I have had so many. Yeah, it's just, I'm not even going to talk about the time I was wearing footy pajamas and I thought I heard a Bigfoot. I didn't see one, but I thought I heard it. And I was roasting marshmallows, and I had like the full body footy pajamas. I was like 23, and I hear this absolute and I just go, I don't even know why we're out here. I'm not sure, and I don't like it. And you can't make me like it, because I'll never, ever like it. I just never like it. All right, so let's get into it here. I have some audio that I want to play for you guys. Some strange, I don't know what it is. It's just really, really bothersome sometimes to hear some of this stuff. But if any of you are keeping up with, I believe the man is Donald Wayne Scherfly, I think it's Scherfly, who is a neighbor of Don that we discussed a bit on the last show. I believe he had his day in court today, and a lot of charges were really dropped down. I'll show you here. Let's see. And usually because I want to just say this, and people can feel however they want. I don't think that this man has anything to do with Summer going missing, but but I'm going to play this anyway, because what he is charged with, and thank you so much, 616. I appreciate that. What he is charged with is their heinous crime. So I have no problem talking about him. I believe he deserves that. Crimes against children, and these aren't alleged. Let's just take a look here. All right, so this is Scherfy, or I can't even say his name right. So the offense date was May 20th. They filed the charges October. 14 counts, sexual exploitation of a minor, and they say over 100 images. I don't know. Yeah, this is the son. Class B felony. He pled guilty, but some of the charges were pled down, which happens a lot. Okay, I mean they just do. But this is a neighbor. This is a neighbor of the Wells. Now, when Don starts finding out about this stuff, he's like, okay, we got something here. We got something here. And Don feels as though at this point he can put it so what he was trying to do with me when we were doing this interview was he wanted me to run with this narrative. I never did. I just never did. And I'm still not running with it. I'm still not blaming Don Scherfle for Summer going missing. I know a lot of people have strong feelings about him, and rightfully so, because the charges that he has pleaded to are absolutely heinous. They're absolutely ridiculous. They're disgusting. But go ahead and just take a listen here.
And then you got the Shipley that
call them Shifley. They didn't even know who the guy. Like he's kind of familiar with him, but he's not.
And then you got the Shipley that somehow related to Mary somehow that I don't understand. I mean, I don't know them. They hate us. They think that we stole this property out from under them somehow when my mom gave it to us.
Yeah, it's in your name, right?
Yes, sir. Right. So I'm thinking about this Donald Scherfle, and his son's been busted twice for child porn. And if they've been talking behind our back and saying we're low life and we took this property from them, and this guy's a child pornographer type person, well, and plus he has a red truck. It's a STM like mine, but it's red.
Does he have a ladder rack on that bad boy?
I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. See, we was trying to keep this hush-hush with our private investigators and everything. And then Donald Wayne Scherfle
and his
son's name, Donald Wayne Scherfle Jr. And I'll tell you a little other thing, but I don't know if this is true or anything else. Okay? I had a woman call me today she's not exactly from our church, but that other church that does the vigils. And she said that she had a dream, and she seen the red truck and the buckets in the back with the initials DWS. And they've been trying to figure it out for a couple months now whose initials they are, because mine's DWW. My dad's DL. I can't remember.
You put your DL. All right. So there he goes, and he finds out about Mr. Scherfle or what I think that's his name. And he is no doubt a monster for the charges that he was charged with, and ultimately, he pled down some of those charges. It seems like I don't have the exact details on that, but he did plead down some of those charges. But nevertheless, what he has been charged with is horrendous. Not something anybody should. You just take a look there. Not good. Not good at all. Sexual exploitation of minors, aggravated sexual exploitation of minors. Okay. Well, in my opinion, Don isn't much better. Don Wells isn't much better than that. So he's at this time, trying to form this narrative with me, and somebody just said that it's not the neighbor. He lives down the road. He actually, yes, you're right. When I say neighbors, they don't live next door to each other like Jody Sue and the Wells. Now, if we listen to I asked, and I know this is another hot button issue with people. Jody Sue is, and Andy as well. But I want you to hear exactly what Don says. I asked him about Jody Sue and Andy. And this is what he said. Trigger warning, and please keep the comments as classy as we always try.
I've got up in the middle of the night hearing all kind of noise and went out on the back porch and was standing there real quiet, and he's out there screaming and yelling and beating the shit out of her and got her kids scared to death. I've heard that many times.
So, I mean, that doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like he's making that up. But he's talking about, I've heard this many times. And I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about that situation, and fair enough. But the neighbor down the road who has been accused by Jody Sue of just providing drugs for the children. I personally don't go after that situation other than, look, I can question motives and I can question, but if Don's saying this,
I've got up in the middle of the night hearing all kind of noise and went out on the back porch and was standing there real quiet, and he's out there screaming and yelling and beating the shit out of her and got her kids scared to death. I've heard that many times.
Nobody deserves that. But here's what I've come to the conclusion of, just in this typical area, and Tennessee is not a state I'm particularly familiar with at all, other than Nashville. But it reminds me of almost any kind of back road town that is sort of hidden from the cities, as you would call them. And none of it, and I say this, none of this stuff was ever going to be discovered until something catastrophic happened. And I remember asking Don on his whole spiritual quest and his ayahuasca understanding of the world. I just flat out asked him, Don, why did you have these quote unquote premonitions? Why did you have these? Why? And this was his answer.
I probably couldn't have took it. I mean, I've failed.
So this is piggybacking off of the last audio. If you listen closely here, he rolls into a whole nother area.
I probably couldn't have took it. I mean, I've failed so many times. I went off the deep end so many times. I can't stand it. So I guess, God was trying to prepare me for it. But
you didn't have that feeling about any of the other kids?
No, sir. Not at all.
Yeah.
No, but then again, if it would have happened to one of their kids, I knew they were being hurt. It would still drive me absolutely bonkers. I mean, you know what I mean? But I've known for a couple, 2.5 years, I've known something was going to happen to her, but I just couldn't put my finger on it until it happened.
Had there ever been anything else like close that happened that made you worry?
No, nothing.
Well, I mean,
other than my wife being stupid and befriending dumbass people, which I knew were trouble. Yeah. Other than that, no. I mean, that's women for you, especially she's a lot younger than me,
So his biggest problem was Candace befriending people who were quote unquote troublemakers. He didn't trust her friends, and I don't know what friends he's referring to, because I don't know. And no, I'm not talking bad about Tennessee. I'm talking about every little small town in the world. So there's a town not that far from where I live called Oric. And Oric is a town unto itself. You wouldn't even think it's California. And there's just a lot, like, it's just hidden, and that's where people go to do bad stuff and make, meth labs and whatever. They also sell a lot of like a burl there too. So that's what I meant. I'm not talking about the state of Tennessee. I don't know anything about Tennessee. But it kind of falls in line with, Ben Hill Road is a place all unto itself as well. What's this one here? Let me make sure. So as him and I he gets a little more comfortable and starts telling me a little bit more. He said something that I don't know what to make of it, and I'll let you decide, and you bring it, you decide how, have your own opinion about it. Cause I don't really know how to take it. I don't believe it, but, like I said, I'll let you decide.
I probably couldn't have took it. I mean, I've failed so many times. I went off the deep end so many times.
Wrong one.
I've done a lot of time. And you know what? I'm not saying it would be a good thing, but I feel like almost like it would be an honor. I know people take this weird or funny, but I would almost take it as an honor to serve time for my daughter. I know that sounds crazy. I don't get it myself, but even though I'm innocent, but out of love, just out of pure love for my daughter, I would do anything.
I find it odd there that he throws in, even though I'm innocent, I would go to jail for my daughter. I find that bizarre. I find that weird. I'm not saying it's incriminating but why the whole innocent part of it is really, really strange. It's really, really strange. Let's listen to that again.
I've done a lot of time. And you know what? I'm not saying it would be a good thing, but I feel like almost like it would be an honor. I know people take this weird or funny, but I would almost take it as an honor to serve time for my daughter. I know that sounds crazy. I don't get it myself, but even though I'm innocent, but out of love, just out of pure love for my daughter, I would do anything.
And let's see, absolutely a great question. Let me see here. DY says, how would him going to jail help Summer? I don't know. I think what he's trying to say, and it just comes off terrible the more you listen to it. And by the way, I don't believe him at all. But I don't think he would do that. But how him going to jail for something he didn't do? Like, okay, well, if you give me my daughter back, I'll go to jail for the rest of my life. The thing is that, in my personal opinion, that they do have that opportunity. All Candace as well. In my opinion, they're the ones that know. Where are the other suspects? Where are the other people of interest? Why aren't they cleared? Why aren't they working with investigators? And every time I try and think of somebody else doing something to her, I come back to, well, why aren't they doing a damn thing to try to find this girl who's been missing for 14 months? And 14 months as a missing child is an extremely long time, but it's not 20 years. You don't just pack it in. You don't pack it in. So where are the other suspects? Where is this ring of predators? Well, I'll tell you where it is. It starts on 110 Ben Hill Road. So if there's a ring, it's going to start there, folks. Because we've only seen the tip of the iceberg. Imagine a carefree Thursday night on 110 Ben Hill Road. Dawn's off of work, in the throes of addiction, drinking. The kids not being tended to normally. Candace starting up her 5 o'clock degeneracy or whatever. We've seen their best behavior and it's still terrible. We've seen their best behavior and it's still absolutely despicable. There is no doubt about it. And they are in this for themselves. And if this was really true, what this man's saying right here.
I've done a lot of time. And you know what? I'm not saying it would be a good thing, but I feel like almost like it would be an honor. I know people take this weird or funny, but I would almost take it as an honor to serve time for my daughter. I know that sounds crazy. You know, I don't get it myself, but even though I'm innocent, but out of love, just out of pure love for my daughter, I would do anything.
Except what? Now, I fully admit that it is completely possible that Dawn did not know at the time what happened. But I also think that as time has gone on, that I have trouble believing that. Being a predator the way that Dawn is and has been and will seem to always be the predator that he is, saying those weird things. It's hard to imagine a scenario where they don't know.
Hey now.
Hey now. It is just it doesn't pass any test. Holds no water. And yet he's had all these issues with Candace and her friends, but never addresses them because remember, he had to do what he had to do. He had to go to work. He had to do this. He had to do that. And what kind of friends did Dawn and Candace hang out with? Well, I'll tell you.
Well, at first I thought, it's got to be some sicko hillbilly druggie, drug her out in the woods or something, or somebody put her in her car and took her not too far away or whatever like that. But
well, those are the kind of people they hang out with because that's the kind of people that they are. And so Dawn, in that conversation way back in February with me, tells me that there's a new person of interest. But don't you think that the cops knocked on his door? I mean, I assume that they have. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know that for a fact. But
I've known for a couple of years. Something has told me without words, and only the way I can explain it is it had to be an angel or God or something letting me know that something was going to happen to her. And I always thought that she was going to get, it's the same thing that people say, oh, she's going to get accidentally run over or something. That's what I was thinking in my head. And so I told Candace many times, watch her closely, because I just knew it. I knew the whole time. And I was so close to her that it was just driving me absolutely crazy, but there was nothing I could do about it. I had to go to work. I had to do what I have to do. And then when it happened, I mean, like that last picture I took with her when I was holding her in the kitchen, I knew I was in my brain as that picture was being taken. It was in my brain that this is it. It was so crazy, but it had to have been an angel or something just letting me know, that something was going to happen. I'm glad, because I probably would have been, I probably couldn't have took it. I mean, I've failed so many times. I went off the deep end so many times that I can't stand it. So I probably couldn't have took it. I mean, I've failed so many times. I went off the deep end so many times that I can't stand it. So I guess, God was trying to prepare me for it. But
you didn't have that feeling about any of the other kids?
No, sir. Not at all.
Yeah.
No, but then again, if it would have happened to one of their kids, I knew they were being hurt. It would still drive me absolutely bonkers. I mean, you know what I mean? But I've known for a couple, 2.5 years, I've known something was going to happen to her, but I just couldn't put my finger on it until it happened.
Had there ever been anything else like close that happened that made you worry?
No, nothing.
Well, I mean,
other than my wife being stupid and befriending dumbass people, which I knew were trouble. Yeah. Other than that, no. I mean, that's women for you, especially she's a lot younger than me. I've done a lot of time. And you know what? I'm not saying it would be a good thing, but I feel like almost like it would be an honor. I know people take this weird or funny, but I would almost take it as an honor to serve time for my daughter. I know that sounds crazy. I don't get it myself, but even though I'm innocent, but out of love, just out of pure love for my daughter, I would do anything.
Loyal to a Fault says, was that last picture ever verified the exact date it was taken? No, it wasn't. Not that I found. But yeah, he'd be honored and he'd be proud. It's almost like guilty. It's like he's guilty of many things when it comes to these children. And it's just completely, I don't care how weird you are, and I don't care how disconnected from reality you are. These statements that have been made and are still being made through letters are not normal statements to make. And as these other cases come up and they become the new wave, the new hot button topic, the sensationalism, I understand that there is not a lot of quote unquote new, fresh information, but hopefully that comes. Hopefully, by us continuing to talk about Summer Wells will spark the mind of somebody who maybe just so happens to hear something, overhear something, see something. Because to let this story slip away is not an option. It's just not an option. The very first case I was ever interested in happened a mile from my house. It's been over 20 something years. And I'm still asking questions to this day. To this day, I still am hoping that there's somebody out there. And by the way, I've found out more about that case than the police had just by not stopping. And they, I had spoke with them. They turned over, the information that they had to me. But to stop, I don't know. I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know how this is going to end. But I'm very hopeful that it ends. I mean, I just don't see it ending in a good way. Honestly, guys, if Summer was alive, and I truly have had so many doubts about that somebody would bring her forward and end this and just end this. Because right now it's basically, with the main players involved, nothing more than a hide and seek. And how long can we stay out of jail? Can we get away with this? So far, so good. The avalanche of public criticism, we've withstood it. The accusations, the interrogations, we've withstood those. We're moving on. They're moving on. They've moved on. Candace has absolutely no intention whatsoever of looking for Summer. And if a person tries to come up and tell me that she is or has or whatever, it's a lie. Because it's obvious that she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's lost other kids before. You think she cares? No, she doesn't care. If she cared, she would be organizing searches. If she didn't know what happened to Summer, like she claims, then she would be searching for the answers. But she doesn't. She doesn't search. She doesn't care. And I'm telling you, when Dawn gets out, I don't know what's going to happen, but something. I know something's going to happen. I know something's going to happen. And also, I want to say this in the most delicate way, and maybe they have. Maybe law enforcement is just waiting for the kids' custody to be relinquished, so that way they can actively close that case and then move on to the next. What the status of that is, I just don't know. I don't know what the status of the children's CPS case is. It's really not my business, other than if, and I'm assuming that they aren't getting the children back, that when those children are officially adopted by a loving family that appreciates children and will show them love and kindness, and hopefully that they heal from all the trauma that they've been through. And I hope they prosper in life. And I hope that somehow, some way, they can manage to put behind them the horrors that they've been exposed to, that their sister vanished off the face of the earth. And maybe one day when those kids grow up, and if Dawn's still around, but probably not, maybe one day one of them will say, "Why didn't you look? Dad, why didn't you look? Mom, why didn't you look?" And hold them accountable. Hold them accountable for the things that they've done. When I grew up, I asked my dad, "Why did you kill my mom?" And he didn't know what to say. He didn't have an answer for that. I bet he never thought in a million years that I would ask him that question. And I hope it made him feel like shit. And I hope he felt bad when I asked him. And I hope he felt ashamed. The same way that I hope Dawn and Candace feel ashamed for what they've done to these children. All of them, all four of them. Because what they've done is created one of the biggest messes I've ever seen. That I have ever seen. They have ruined so many lives. How many lives have they ruined? I understand Summer is missing and the boys are being taken care of, but that doesn't erase everything in the past that's happened to those kids. And I see posts on message boards and things like that. Dawn and Candace love their kids. Prove it. Because I think that's the opposite. I'm sure that they have fond feelings of their kids and they're like, well, you know, but if you love somebody, you never give up. They've given up. They've given up. And then you have Mr. Mullen, who is trying to turn Dawn into something that he's not. Flat out, he's not who you are trying to make him out to be. He's just not going to do that. He's not a choir boy. He's going to stop going to church. He's going to start doing drugs again. He is not going to clean up his life. He may do it for a month or two. That's how junkies work. But Don craves drugs. It's embedded into him. He craves alcohol. When something tweaks him the wrong way, he becomes angry and he fiends. He fiends. Because he's a degenerate. And he doesn't actually care. And Tim, you can do whatever you want. You could try to play puppet master and shove your hand all the way up his butt and try to make him talk say the words that you want him to say for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe you just want an extra friend, but he's not the guy that you want him to be. Even if he has nothing to do with this, and I say if because I don't believe it. There are a multitude of other things that you are ignoring. Your buddy is a pedophile, an admitted pedophile. Corroborated by many others. And you know what? I could harp on you all day and all night. And the fact of the matter is, none of you care. It's almost impossible to publicly shame you because when people, start screaming in a Walmart, asked to leave and threaten to blow it up, they have no shame. They have no shame at all whatsoever. None. And so all we can do from where we are is to try, because I'll tell you right now, the Kiley Rodni story is already way bigger than the Summer Wells story. Why? I couldn't tell you. I have some theories, but I couldn't tell you. Whatever's marketable, whatever, TMZ reporting on it, New York Post reporting on it, blah, 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 blah. And I hope that everything comes out good. In that case, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But I hope that everything turns out okay. I truly do. But there are people in Tennessee who don't know about Summer. There are people, I live in California. Nobody knows about it here. The only people that know about it are the people that I tell. It's not going to show up. Even when they were on Dr. Phil, you thought that would have sparked major interest. And by the way, it did a little. And God bless Dr. Phil for doing that. He dedicated a couple hours of national television time, but it still didn't catch. And you know why? Because people look at Don and Candace and go, well, obviously, look what she had to deal with. And they just kind of move on. They kind of move on. I don't know how Summer's case became somewhat notable on YouTube. But imagine that nobody besides WJHL picks up on this story. Think about this. If nobody else picks up on that story, besides the local news, it doesn't make it to us. Never. But 3 weeks after that happened, a man by the name of Chris McDonough pulled an Airstream into Tennessee. With no with no judgments, no nothing, willing to help. Help wasn't, he got the interviews, but he wasn't just there for that. And if for some reason the sheriff's office is not being able to fulfill the time required to solve this case, they should not be too proud to ask for help or hand it over. I get it. It's a prideful thing for law enforcement. They want to be the ones that solve this. They want to be the ones that solve this. And it's not about who solves it. It's about what solves it. It's okay to ask for help. People would applaud that. And my hope is that they don't need help and that they're waiting for the CPS case to close. That's my hope. But I don't know. Aren't FBI and TBI already involved? Who do you want them to ask for help? The sheriff's office is the lead investigator on the sheriff's office is the lead investigative department on the case. Maybe they could just turn it completely over. That's who I would prefer if they're having problems. I don't know if they are. But you know, they've held on to this case. It's Detective Pruitt's case. He's the lead investigator. He works for Hawkins County. So yes, they called in and asked for help initially, and as everything started to scale back, you know, I'm sure that they work with TBI and the FBI when and if they get a lead or a tip. But I just don't see the problem if they're having issues turning the case completely over to somebody else. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, when Detective Pruitt was talking about, you know, he checks it and then he's like, I got other case files. I know it is a major problem, but I just don't see the, you know, in the D. Warner case, the sheriff completely absolved his department of that case because it seems as either there was conflict of interest, people too close, blah, blah, blah. They washed their hands of it. And the state police picked it up and are now in charge of the investigation. Bravo. That, to me, shows something as a law enforcement agent. They're more worried about getting it solved than their ego. And I'm not saying that that's the case with Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, because we are going to probably have to wait until the CPS case is completely closed. And hopefully that they have a case, that they've held back everything, that they're just waiting for something. I truly hope that happens. And make sure, if you could, please hit the like button if you haven't already. It helps the channel out so much as we continue to grow. And thank you, everybody. Doesn't Tennessee have state police? Yeah. Yes, they do. Yes, they absolutely do. And I'm really, really hopeful that something's going to shake loose here soon.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice in there. It's unbelievable.
But, you know, I still can't believe he said that.
I've done a lot of time. And you know what? I mean, I'm not saying it would be a good thing, but I feel like almost like it would be an honor. I know people take this weird or funny, but I would almost take it as an honor to serve time for my daughter. I know that sounds crazy. You know, I don't get it myself, but even though I'm innocent, but out of love, just out of pure love for my daughter, I would do anything.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the super chats, new members, everybody watching, showing up. Thank you so much. Lorna Stevenson. Can somebody get Lorna Stevenson my email address? I saw Titanic. I love Titanic.